What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Saturday, everybody. Okay, so I was waiting for this conversation to drop from Andy on that UFO podcast, friend of the show. He was going to talk to Jeffrey Nuccetelli, and Nuccetelli is one of the people who testified in Congress. He's also a friend of the show. He's been on the show, and there are some things that he has discussed at the Soul Foundation event that I hope they make the light of day soon. I did get dropped a couple of clips from Soul that I'm not going to play because I asked. It's a clip from one of the attendees, and they apparently weren't that strict when it comes to recording stuff. But I just wanted to make sure that I didn't like get into somebody's case or something. So I asked the people at Soul. They did tell me that those clips were not okay to share because I was going to get in a copyright strike situation. And that's something that I always want to avoid. But I do want to talk a little bit about what Jeffrey Nuccetelli spoke about in that clip that I was shared. He spoke about Dylan Borland, and he spoke about how Dylan, at a certain point, became sort of like a dead man's switch for many people within the U.S. government and those legacy programs, and that's why he decided to come forward because he is in a very unique position, I think, and we're going to keep learning more about his role in all of this, and I think he could be considered just as valuable as David Grush, and for me, Matthew Brown too. Those three guys, and obviously David Fravor because he's the one who chased this thing, this tic tac. But I want to show you what Andy and Jeff discussed in today's episode of that UFO podcast. For me, this is the most interesting part of all, where Jeff sort of makes like a prediction, and he has an ominous little clip that I want to show you guys where he discusses heroes falling. I wonder what he means by this. I can give you my interpretation after we listen to this, but I don't know exactly what he means. So let's play it from this moment, and we'll be pausing as time goes by, okay?
And final question for me, Jeff. I want to ask you, and I'm going to give you that. I think this is a really nice question to finish on because it gives you a lot of freedom to not have to talk about things that are either NDA'd, classified, things you're involved in that you can't speak about yet, but you can talk around. I'm going to ask you for 3 predictions that may very well happen in 2026.
Oh, wow.
And the UFO topic, not baseball, NFL, anything like that.
So 3 predictions. I'll definitely tell you what I'd like to see happen.
Yeah.
I want to see near the end of the year and leading up to this, I want to see more hearings. Some people have said, we've heard enough. That's completely wrong. I believe the battle begins now. So the way I look at it, David Grush kicked the door open. Standing behind the door was Dylan Borland. And behind Dylan Borland are shadowy figures that are waiting, whistleblowers that have the information we all want to know about biologics, about craft, about crash recoveries, about reverse engineering. I believe those people exist, and I want to hear from them. But before we can, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. I want to see that work done, and I'm working on that behind the scenes to the best of my ability. So my one prediction is around the end of the year, next year, we're going to see 3 critically important hearings structured around a massive event of the people coming together, raising their voices, and demanding in a peaceful and respectful manner from the government the truth. So that's my predict. That's something I'm working for. We need to gather we the people together, and this could be a worldwide movement. We need to raise our voices. We need to be heard, and we need a response from the powers that be. Right. So that's one prediction. I believe that will happen. I'm going to work to make that happen. What else? I think you're going to see a lot more witnesses and whistleblowers come forward, not through the government, but through podcasts and news sources. You're going to see a flood.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be tricky because, right, like anybody can jump into this space.
The vetting process, and I'm always very
like, how do you?
I've had people get in touch with me, Jeff, in the past. Never, I've not had Matthew Brown or Dylan or yourself reach out to me first, and I would never want anyone who listens to this who's a serious whistleblower to reach out to me first. Please go to Corbell Knapp or Coulthard or go to one of the bigger sources. But yeah. I'm always wary of that because I can't do the checks that other people can.
Yeah. So that's prediction 2. You're going to see a flood. From every walk of life, military, civilians, you're just going to see people that are emboldened and encouraged share their story. And that's a good thing overall. And the third thing, my prediction is you're going to see heroes fall. The celebrities, the thought leaders in this space, the people that are out there claiming to be doing the work, taking the credit, getting the glory, shaping the narrative, you're going to see those people fall flat on their face. And that's going to be disruptive to the community, to the movement, to everything, because there are bad actors out there. And there is in my opinion, I can't prove this, but the Fed has actively infiltrated the podcasting space. I put this out publicly a few months ago. Kurt Mungle, who I'm a fan of, put a tweet out a few months ago and said, "Hey, what's going on in UFO world?" And I said, "Here's what's going on. The FBI is infiltrating the podcast space." And you're going to see that start to play out. And I think that is going to play out. And you're going to, because of that initiative and other initiatives, you're going to see heroes fall. Yeah, unfortunately.
I'll just announce my next guest is Kash Patel. No, he's not. He's coming on to review Jeff Nuccetelli, and I've got a new $1 million studio being set up for me, folks.
Yeah.
This is a wild prediction from Jeff, and it's been happening forever since I got into this space. Just about a year prior to me being part of Christian Harloff's channel for the first time, I had been looking at the behavior of people within social media and within the UFO community. And what I found was that there's always like cycles, right? When it comes to podcasting within the UFO community. And there have been at least 2 or 3 different cycles of people who are new to the scene, who come into the topic and start creating content and all that. And many of them get burned pretty quickly. And many of them, are seemingly and potentially infiltrated by really friendly folks who are like part of the UFO community, posing as something else, but they really are just trying to get into these spheres and confuse the narrative and obfuscate information and put out stories that are not reliable in order to get a lot of these people burned. And this is one of the oldest tactics in the book too. If you guys saw that documentary Mirage Man, you can see that they've done these types of tactics for many, many decades. Linda Moulton Howe, she was openly played by Rick Doty at a certain point. And there are many cases like that. There is a podcasting sphere that existed 2 or 3 years ago that got really gained a lot of traction. And then there was sort of like an inside operation against many of the people involved in that podcasting sphere. That was the first time it happened. A lot of those people turned into really negative people that seem to have like a grudge against some of the most famous faces in UFO world. And it's happened a couple of times already. Like it's that happened once, and then there was like an internal battle within the UFO community that even got a lot of people sued. It's always happening. Like heroes are constantly falling, but this time kind of feels like Jeff is aware of some of these operations, and kind of feels like he already knows who those heroes that are going to fall are. I don't know if he does though, but kind of sounded like he does. So a little startling what he's saying, because, and especially because, for example, the podcasting sphere that I'm a part of right now, there's a lot of really cool people that I'm getting to meet and I'm becoming really good friends with. And we know that this is a constant danger that is happening. I don't know what the measurements or the way that they infiltrate these podcasting spheres are. I don't know how they judge who they're going to burn and who they're not going to burn. I have no idea. All I can do is just try and keep doing my job and try to keep an eye out. As they say, head on a swivel, because I know that, yeah, there's a lot of people that are messed with constantly. I speak to some of them, and it just feels like it could happen to anybody. And we have to be alert the entire time. So I want to give a thanks to both Jeff for opening up about this, and also to Andy for like getting a little bit of levity into the conversation, because it was a little scary to hear. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'll be reading everything. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to like, share, hype, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's all you need to do in order to help us, and it is what helps us the most. So thank you. But if you want to support us in other ways, there's a few links down there you can choose from. You can also become a member on YouTube, or you can support us through KGRA. Anything you choose to do is always appreciated. So thank you. That's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious and inquisitive like Jeffrey Nuccetelli. Always. Bye.